Hello and welcome to the First Issue Club. We are your weekly comic book podcast where, just like Sue Storm, we love a good read. It's another week. Another bounty has fallen upon us. And what is art if it's not appreciated and discussed?
What is art but just a reflection of life, man?
And when we're not reflecting upon it, we're not giving that art what it deserves. Right? We have a responsibility.
Wow, this is getting deep.
As members of a society,
Mm-hmm.
of an earth, of an experience.
Of a club of first issues.
To soak in the vinegar that is creation.
Oh, why is it gotta be vinegar?
We need to pickle ourselves on the world's creative juices.
Okay.
And this
All right.
amazing
Here we go.
output
Mm-hmm.
that is graciously given to us on a weekly basis by so many fantastic creators.
Yeah, we need to embalm ourselves.
This week, we're going to be talking about 4 first issues. You have 2, I have 2. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Ish?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Well, I did 3 because I wanted to overlap on one of yours because I really liked it.
All right. Awesome. Very cool.
So,
Rock and roll.
rock and roll. We did some pretty cool rock and roll stuff on the video.
And then this episode, we're also going to be talking about the news. We've got a lot of things to talk about. Agatha All Along. A couple other fun
It's gonna be a
fun
beefy
tidbits.
segment.
We'll probably spend a lot more time talking about Agatha All Along and
Yeah.
then some other quick small hits and then get into comic books. But first,
Mm-hmm.
there's a really important thing I want to talk about.
Like maybe the top tier stuff important.
And that's, one of the most important things to you in your life is that you have First Issue Club in your life. And that wouldn't be possible without...
Comic books.
No. Boulevard's Space Camper Cosmic IPA, the official beer and brewing company of the First Issue Club. This is a tasty IPA. It's my favorite. I'm a hop guy.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different varietals, though, that if you like the easy hops, you like the heavy hops, you like the West Coast hops,
Yeah.
there is a type of Space Camper for you. We're drinking classic, baby.
The versatile range of hops
Yeah.
that Space Camper offers is unparalleled and
Yeah.
and frankly unmatched in the industry.
Mm.
So to be with these pioneers of taste and to be partnered with them is truly an honor.
Send your space buds.
Send your space buds to taste. Listen, we're about 2 deep
That is true.
in the Space Camper.
Yeah, we've been It's been a long day of recording.
Marathon mania.
I
Here
got
at First Issue Club.
maybe got a little too zooted before we read the ad.
But that's how you know it's official.
Yeah.
And that's how you know that we love the product.
Space Camper's doing its damn job,
Yep.
and it's getting me feeling tilty and ready for a fun conversation.
Yeah. Space Camper.
About comics. Space Camper.
Not a beer. It's a journey. Oh, look at that beautiful ASMR.
Yeah, that was a little can
Little can
crunch.
For longtime listeners, you'll know right now, we're in Baby Watch 2024.
Dun, 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 dun,
Andy can't join us this episode because he is, I think, as of right now, in the throngs of potentially having a child with his wife right now.
Yeah.
They're at the hospital.
Yep.
That she is scheduled to have it tonight. So maybe get some breaking news in this episode.
That's true.
We get to potentially announce a
success-
10 Jim Mint 10 for Andy Vargas.
Mini Vargas. I'm excited about this because I could finally do something that I can never do when Vargas is around. Trash James Bond.
Oh my God. What can you possibly trash James Bond for?
Who introduces themselves like Bond? James Bond.
Someone with the heaviest hog in the room. Also, what a fantastic way to reveal to everyone in the room that you're a spy.
Yeah.
Like what an
Sure.
what an unhinged way to introduce
Who says
yourself.
their last name first? Try it.
Lichtai, Greg Lichtai.
That's an insane way to
Yeah.
introduce yourself.
It'd be like
right?
It's pompous. Like Elon Musk probably
Mhm.
does it.
I'm Tua. Hawk Tua.
Oh God,
That's how she introduces herself now.
No. No. I'm
just a
fully aware
blunt
that everyone
no.
gets their 15 minutes of fame, and God bless her managing team that has turned her. Okay, first of all, let me just say this right now.
She has an empire.
We went to Spirit
She has a
Halloween,
podcast called Talk Tua.
which great marketing.
That's an amazing name.
Beautiful marketing. Went to Spirit Halloween this weekend to get my kid a costume.
Uh-huh.
There's a Hawk Tua product line with her name on it. This is her product.
It's like
That's how
officially
brilliant
sponsored.
she is.
Yeah.
She knew that Halloween was coming up. She's like, I want to make my own Hawk Tua costume with my own brand and marketing company.
People she's surrounding herself with are
Top tier
miracle workers. Because
If she's not putting all this money in the Roth IRA, huge
please,
mistake.
I really hope she's saving it all. Let's say maybe we're this isn't a personal attack on her. I don't know anything about her. I'm sure the line she said,
the innocuous line from not
in the
even
moment,
her own video.
it was very funny.
Yeah,
It got a big tee-hee from me.
Sure.
The first time I saw it.
of course.
Now, maybe she's talented in that way, and this propels her to fame and stardom, and she's a part of our lives for a while.
Yeah,
and
she's the next Joe Rogan.
And we'll forget at some point that she was the Hawk Tua girl, and we'll know her actual name. But for now, while you're a meme, basically, like,
Get that bag, honey.
get that bag.
I would do the
Exactly
same fucking
right.
thing.
100%.
I would snatch that purse.
She's absolutely killing it.
like
More power to you.
podcast Halloween costume. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a perfume on the way. Dental dam. Diaphragms. Like embrace the sexual liberation of what Hawk Tua means.
It's a movement, not a meme.
Yeah. It's a revolution.
Let's talk about Agatha All Along.
Okay. Was there
How
any
about
news
that?
news?
Okay, well, a couple things if you want to do some comic news first.
Sure.
Death of Deadpool was a big thing that
Yeah.
happened this past week. Was it issue 6, I think? Kind of seems like it is now the one to have. Sold out a lot of online retailers. I don't know if you could still pick it up in
Not
in
impressing me. But
your shop, but and Deadpool has died before. They killed him in issue 150.
Yeah.
I want to say, and
Sure.
kind of made a big deal of the death of Deadpool, but
Yeah.
he's dead again, and they've been teasing this for a while. And his daughter's taking up the mantle
Well,
and
Deadpool goes to therapy.
gets
right?
in costume. That's the book you're more interested in.
I want character development.
Deadpool becomes well
Death
adjusted.
does not make a character improve.
Mm-hmm.
Hawk Tua that. That's my Hawk Tua sense on that.
My Hawk Tua senses are tingling.
Go on. Deadpool dead.
Deadpool dead. In the next issue, if you haven't read that issue, well, hopefully this isn't too big of a spoiler. His daughter doesn't know yet that this
she's
has
gonna be
happened.
Deadpool.
So she's gonna find out. So she's actually already kind of taken the mantle of Deadpool. She's got the same
Yes.
powers.
Yeah.
She wore the costume this past issue. That's kind of maybe the bigger deal. Why this issue is.
I think it's also teased that she's going to be in the new Champions book.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. With
Okay.
like the new Moon Knight kid that wears a baseball cap and
Yeah.
all those other new little Rugrats running around.
All right. Right on. So, big book to pick up, especially if you're a Deadpool stan. I don't know what it's selling for.
Stanpool.
If you're a Stanpool. New York City Comic Con programming is kind of like leaking out at this point. Like we're starting
it's like no,
hear-
the valve is busted.
hear
It's
more of the paneling and
no
all that
longer
stuff.
trickling out. It's gushing out.
I just like saw these were a couple highlights of like the
Yeah.
lists of like endless things that
Oh,
you could go to.
I wasn't here last week. Did you guys talk about Null being in the new Venom trailer?
I think we did. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Donnie Cates is going back to cons, everyone, so get your books ready.
Yeah.
Who knows how long he'll be doing this?
Get that money, honey.
Honey. Hunty.
Okay, there's going to be an exclusive comic at the Marvel panel. So that's a panel you got to go to.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some Fantastic Four news, Ultimate news, and they're going to be talking about Doom Supreme.
I'm excited for that event, to be honest.
Yeah. So
I think that fucking rips.
that would be a really fun panel to go to. Kid Cudi's doing a panel talking about Moon Man.
Cool.
So he'd be fun to see in person. Charlemagne the God is promoting his Kickstarter book with Brian Hill that I think's ultimately going to come out on AWA.
Okay.
You're groaning. It's just another
Listen, hold
celebrity writing a comic that's like
Time out.
kickstarted and they'll
I
publish
love
it.
Charlemagne the God. All
Yeah.
right. I listen to The Breakfast Club all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
Does he need to write a comic book? No.
Yeah.
Will I read it? Goddamn right I will. You goddamn right I will.
Brian Hill's like the co-writer on it, and Brian Hill's great.
Yeah. I'm sure everyone's seeing what Matt Kent and Keanu Reeves are doing, and they're just like, how do I do that?
Yeah. And then there's going to be some Daredevil TV show stuff. So
Oh, neat.
I don't know that we've gotten much of a look at that yet, if anything. Has there been a teaser trailer?
There was a leaked trailer from D23.
Okay.
Looked cool.
All right.
Because, of course, I watched it.
And then the last thing I wanted to mention was there's going to be a Daredevil book in January, I think, called Daredevil Unleash Hell. That is a polybagged, red band, ultra violent Daredevil book focused around Elektra. Daredevil Elektra. This is always confusing when you're talking about Daredevils now because they're both Daredevils.
Yeah.
Erica Schultz is writing this.
Fuck yeah.
Club favorite.
Yep.
So really looking forward to that one. How are you feeling about all the polybag stuff lately that Marvel's doing?
I like it because the content inside of the book also seems to be good.
I feel like they're making good on the promise so far.
Yeah.
I may get tired of it, and it's a good like clue in that this will be a fun one to check out because it'll like be taken maybe to a more of an extreme than you're used to seeing.
Yeah. I haven't bought any of the polybags yet.
Oh, you haven't?
I've all been doing digital reads on those.
Okay.
Are the covers different, and that's why they're polybagged?
No.
Then Marvel, amp it up.
If
you're gonna polybag it, make that cover gross.
The interiors.
Make it gross.
Yeah, you just want the cover to be gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, the covers are exactly the same. I think.
Make it more violent. I mean, when like
the polybag is clear right now.
Oh,
with like a little red, but like transparent red across it.
Stupid. It's not honestly stupid. Who's that keeping out? A kid can open a polybag.
Not in a comic shop.
So that's what we're here for?
Yeah, I think that's the point.
Okay.
That a kid can't walk into a comic shop and
read it,
pop it open, and see gore. Gore.
Yeah, they'll have to go to their iPhones and Google it.
They'll have to get in a time machine and watch a 90s election to see gore.
Oh, boy. It's too much gore for me.
Okay. Agatha All Along.
Yeah, this is going to be the Agatha All Along section. It's going to be about 20 minutes, so strap in, folks.
Well, and I guess we can say, if you haven't watched it yet and you don't want anything spoiled.
I mean, there's not really much to
spoil
per se.
I'll say, so we watched the first two episodes. We always do that. We always call episodes of things issues.
We're fucking dumb.
We're
dumb and been drinking Space Camper for about 3 hours.
The first 2 episodes could be one episode. I think they dropped the 2 at once because you don't really get the gist for what it is.
Yeah.
Without the second episode.
If they didn't drop 2 episodes, I would have been miffed because the first episode would have been lacking in enough.
Feels
content.
really short, and it does something that we'll talk about in a bit that would leave you wanting for more, but becomes a richer experience with the context of the second episode.
Right. Let's get grades out of the way now.
Okay.
First 2 episodes.
B+.
B+. I'm going solid A across the board.
Straight A.
Straight A.
Not a minus.
Not a waver.
Okay.
There wasn't a moment watching those 2 episodes where I got bored.
Really? All right. Right on.
And it was a flawless entry for me.
All right.
Have been wavering on my excitement for Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Especially their TV entries. And I don't know what magic, pun intended, is in these episodes, but it's just the shot of adrenaline that I personally needed to get invested in Marvel stuff again.
I find Catherine Hahn very charming.
Charming.
I like her a lot.
Yeah.
And I dig the cast of characters that have shown up in this so far. I like that it's not a bunch of children. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or like just muscly dudes like thrown like these seem more like you've got a much more diverse age range in this ensemble, which is really cool.
Uh-huh.
And different like
Specialties.
body types and specialties and just like the I don't know, the representation of people is great is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
It took me a while to get that out.
I guess let's just get into the episode 1. Starts off kind of like a riff on like a cop procedural show.
Yes.
There's a show I think they're trying to base it off of, and I'm forgetting the name. Is it like Mayor of East?
Mayor of Easttown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got heavy vibes of that.
Yeah. Or True Detective or something like
Something
that.
along those lines, and it's...
They even did like a fake show intro that was like very
Netflix-y,
crime drama,
heavy, like referencing.
Yeah. That was fun.
Apparently, like Agatha, who now goes by Agnes, is like a cop in this opening sequence. She finds this body, who we later discover is Maximoff.
Yeah, Wanda. AKA Scarlet Witch.
AKA Scarlet Witch, AKA superhero. And Aubrey Plaza is peppered in throughout the first episode.
Yeah.
And right away you can tell that she's like trying to play along in like some delusion that Agatha is living in.
Yeah. She makes a comment like, "Oh, this is really how you see yourself?"
Yes.
There's like a handful of offhanded comments that you're just like, okay, Aubrey Plaza's character knows what's happening and is entertaining it or playing along in this delusion that Agatha is living in or experiencing.
Right.
And then you're also seeing kind of like cracks in the foundation of this thing, or like pieces of her subconscious are like sneaking in, and we don't know why, but it's making the world that she's living in not make sense anymore. Or she's being asked questions about her past by this like intruding character, and she's like having these moments where it's like, why can't I remember where I grew up or if I've traveled outside of this town?
There's an amazing sequence when Aubrey Plaza's character really pushes Agatha, and you see Agatha go through her previous selves through WandaVision, like the exercise version, the black and white, the like 1970s Brady Bunch mom version.
Yep.
And I thought that was so cool to like, it's like a thing you would see in therapy of like breaking through your barriers and trying to find your true self.
And I love that they did the first episode as a TV show parody because it's just great connective tissue from WandaVision into this spin-off series. And I'll say in the fake show intro, they did like based on the Dutch TV show WandaVision.
Yes.
It was like spelt kind of like funny. That was just there's like a lot of little fun nods like that in
There's
this.
some incredible nuances.
And I think the way Catherine Hahn plays a little bit, like leans into the like gritty detective role. Like she's acting it in a way that is like a little cornball and a little like too thrown into the tropes.
Yes.
And
yes.
That's very funny once you have your bearing on like what is exactly going on.
Yeah.
How much did you kind of like understand right away what was going on?
As soon as Aubrey Plaza's character showed up.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know.
I felt like I kind of got some of that from the trailer.
Sure.
That she was in like a delusion. So I went into it kind of knowing.
The only thing I didn't know is if it was self-imposed.
Yeah.
Or like a runoff from a spell that happened because the Darkhold is gone.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for that part. We find out that like since Wanda destroyed the Darkhold, she's lost all of her power, And so she's just kind of...
And Wanda trapped her in a delusion to keep her kind of like in prison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
And then she fully comes out of it when she discovers a character that they're calling Teen right now,
Yeah.
breaking into her house. So she's kind of lifted. You see Catherine Hahn's butt. That's a...
Oh, yeah. She wakes up from the delusion and is nude,
Mm-hmm.
and then immediately runs outside to her neighbor to be like, tell me what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. And by
That
the time...
was a funny scene.
And we should say that the town has been fully lifted from the curse.
Yes.
So that everyone is back to normal.
And they're aware of the curse that they were trapped and held in.
Uh-huh.
So they're
Yes.
just like, well, we don't like talking about Wanda.
And so they've actually been coming to Agnes's/Agatha's home
To take care of her.
to take care of her and give her groceries and stuff.
Because while she's living these delusions, and we've kind of been led to believe that she's lived multiple different delusions.
Uh-huh.
Because her neighbors are kind of like, one day you're over here, the next day you're over there,
Yeah.
this day you're telling us to call you this name.
Yeah. You're more in a true crime
Yeah, you've been in
era
a
right
true
now.
crime era right now. So they've kind of been like
Looking out for her.
looking out for her. This is our neighbor that kind of like lost it, and now she's come to and is trying to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I love the neighbor that comes out, and you're kind of piecing together like Wizard of Oz style.
Yeah,
When Dorothy wakes up at the
1000%,
end,
yeah.
and she's like, "You were the mayor in like my
Yeah.
dreamscape, and you were so and so, and you were so and so," and her police chief comes out, and this whole family sees her nude, and the wife covers the child's eyes and drags him back in, and the husband kind of like lingers, and
And
she's
she's
like,
gawking.
yeah, and she's just like, Daniel, what are you doing? He's like, oh, sorry.
Sorry, what?
Sorry.
No, I do want to say before we get any further, this show in 2 episodes has been more pro-woman and queer identity than I've seen any Marvel show possibly be.
Yeah, sure.
Like, it's just the representation of women alone has like surpassed any of the movies and TV shows. Like,
Yeah.
it is very much woman-centered.
Yep. And then I love the I mean, they haven't come out and said like these characters are queer,
Mm-hmm.
gay, bi, straight, anything. Like, I don't know if we have.
Well, the teen had a boyfriend.
Oh, he did have a.
Because-
They did. It did acknowledge that in the show.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the phone said boyfriend or boyf when
It
he
said
was calling.
boyf.
Uh-huh.
See, even that, I'm like, say boyfriend.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe that's just like a cute nickname too.
You think so?
Because then he said, "Oh, he just worries."
Okay.
So it is very much alluded to that character has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Whether he's gay or bi or whatever.
I do really enjoy that character. He's kind of in the background a lot, being like, okay, go off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, there's just like fun, quippy, like
Yeah.
modern teen
Teen
character
speak.
thrown in with all of these, mother figure
Yeah.
types to him that he's like looking up to all these
Mhm.
older women who have all these experiences, and he wants to be like them.
Yes. It is interesting that whenever he tries to explain who he is, Agatha can't hear him.
Yeah.
It's very
Say
much
his name. Yeah.
Yeah, and explaining who he is and where he came from.
It's like magically masked from her.
Yes. And
We don't know why or what the deal with that is.
it is speculated that he is Wiccan
Okay.
and that possibly Scarlet Witch put a curse on Agatha
Okay.
so whenever he tried to explain who he is,
That
she won't hear it.
Yeah, she can't know anything about her life and her family because she's been hexed out
Mhm.
of protection.
Yes.
She doesn't want Agatha taking revenge on any of her family or loved ones.
Right.
Okay.
And so to get back into the storyline, Agatha has lost her powers now.
Yeah.
Which means she can be hurt. With
Yeah.
with the Darkhold, she was pretty much impervious. Could
Mhm.
never be hurt. And so that's who Aubrey Plaza's character is someone who is scorned by Agatha, may have had a relationship with. It's kind of I don't really know. They tease that a lot. about what their past history is.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also alluded to that the Salem 7
Yeah.
will be like coming to kill Agatha
The
at
most
sundown.
powerful witches.
Yeah, which they looked cool. They looked like some kind of grudge
Yeah.
ring characters.
They were rad. There was a lot of cool character design in this. I was excited to see Shashir Zameda
Oh, I fucking
plays
love her
one
so
of the
much.
witches. She's
the
really
potion
cool.
one.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
they all have their like little jobs now
it's sick.
because they're kind of like running away from.
Yeah, they're in like a coven. And
Yeah.
a coven has to have each particular like sect covered.
Yeah.
Like
The
earth,
different specialties.
potions, clairvoyant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's others, but I can't think of them right now. But I loved that.
But your potion lady has the like candle tincture sort of shop that
Like a new agey,
new
kind
age
of
wellness sort of
crunchy
thing.
mom would go to.
Yes, totally.
So it very much
Very,
reflected
your stereotypical like witch jobs that like in a suburb you would have this like cool lady who has this like cool shop, and then some of the Christian moms might be like, I heard she's a witch.
Yeah, she sells jade eggs. I do. It kind of resembled like Thanos getting the Infinity Gauntlets, or the Infinity Stones. Like,
yeah, the putting the team together things, very like Ocean's 11.
I loved that.
Mm-hmm.
I loved every character of the Coven. Like, Kitty from that '70s show is like,
that was a real surprise to me. I didn't know that she was in the show, and again, I love the diversity in ages of the cast members. It's just like so not a typical thing you see in like these sorts of shows.
And her character isn't a witch.
Yes, she's taking the place of the Earth witch because they need one.
And who is Aubrey Plaza?
Yes,
because
that's alluded to. That through some magic, they found out who their team was supposed to be, who the Coven needed to be, and what the last line was a black heart. And that was a line that Aubrey gave earlier in the show that said that she was
She says, I have a black heart and it only beats for you.
And it only beats for Agatha. That's right.
So, and man, we've already leaked into episode 2 with some of this stuff.
Yeah, fully and completely. Like I said, I think they're like holistically like needed in context of each other. As episode 1, just as it's standalone, doesn't give you an idea of what's happening. It's just that is like a capsule episode that is the crime drama parody.
Right.
Yeah.
It was the first episode needed to be Catherine's character or Agatha's character breaking out of the hold and realizing who she is.
Breaking out of the TV show thing, getting out from Wanda's spell.
Episode 2 was getting the team together.
Yeah.
To walk the road, which is
the Witch's Road.
A road that you walk that is perilous as a witch, and at the end you get something that you need to become your final self, essentially.
Yep.
This kid, the teen, wants to walk the road to become a powerful witch.
Yep.
Because he wants to be a witch.
And maybe he wants to be a real boy.
Yeah. Is
he like a remnant? If he is Wiccan, then is he some sort of like remnant? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't.
Because the way, what's it called? WandaVision ended, her kids weren't real.
Right.
She lost both of them. So I don't understand how he's Wiccan yet, unless he's Wanda's son from another universe, or there was some way he was manifested that off screen that we don't know about yet.
What I speculate is in Multiverse of Madness, we have that Wanda in that universe who was wearing a hoodie and jeans. So I think it's that Wanda that was dead in the woods, not the one that the 616 version.
Oh.
And that kid is this son from that universe.
Interesting.
Leaking over.
Interesting.
Yeah. So,
you know what? Because everybody in the delusion had a comp in the real world. So does the dead body have a comp in our world? And is it the other Wanda that came to like get her kids back and was killed by
Yeah, you know what? I think
Wanda?
yeah,
Could be.
Yeah. Interesting.
That doesn't totally align with Multiverse of Madness's thread, though.
Yeah.
That movie tells a story wherein Wanda fails at getting her children from another Wanda
Mm-hmm.
and says, okay, I need to end it.
Oh, that's true. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Interesting to say the least.
Sure.
But I fully think that kid is Wiccan.
Okay.
And it will be interesting to play. I don't really know who Aubrey Plaza is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like you posted in the Discord.
Okay, so
her name of the character.
the character's name on like IMDb or something was listed as Rio Vidal.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a like Reddit MCU conspiracy thread that was like backwards. That's Lady Vor, and in French, vor or something means sight, and so is this like vision?
Which is a little much.
Yeah,
Great, cool. Well, like would be cool.
yeah.
But
And a character that's connected to Vision of WandaVision, and
Uh-huh.
it's like, do you want to have the thread of Vision carried through? But that doesn't make it makes no contextual sense for
because
like
they have a history
this
already.
witch that has a history. Yeah.
Yeah. You said, or someone said that in our Discord that it would be cool if it was a continuation of the character she played in the FX series Legion,
Yeah, Shadow King.
which would be cool, but again, contextually, it's not really lining up.
Right.
So, who knows? Final episode airs on Halloween,
She's
which
some
is
Marvel witch.
funny.
Yep.
I love that. I'm really pumped for the series. I really loved everything I saw. I loved the song they sang
Mm-hmm.
in the second episode. I think it's the perfect autumn spooky series.
It is fun that it's just starting to get cool out in the Midwest.
Much
and
like,
we've got a scary show to watch.
I think they like when they paired the Hawkeye show with
Christmas.
I thought that was great.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think seasonal Marvel TV is a good idea.
The more we talked about this a little bit the other day over text. So that it seems to me like the more niche things they do now, the more I like them.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
That some of the like bigger story, broader appeal things are a little harder to fall in love with because they don't have as much charm, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Which is I think why we loved, the first couple Ant-Man movies, because they were very quirky and maybe on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
And then the last one was just like maybe too big.
I still love the third one. I don't
You
care
like
what
the third
anyone
one a
said.
lot?
It
Yeah.
was amazing.
I had a harder time with it, but I didn't hate it. I don't hate like any of this stuff. Honestly, you gotta listen to our takes through the lens of I'm a pretty easy to please person. I go into a lot of stuff being like, I'll probably like this.
Yeah.
And then I focus on the things that I like about stuff generally.
Yeah, I would say by the by, there's not one I just like holistically will not watch again.
Yeah.
Even the fucking Thor movies. That's like the second one. I liked a lot. So
I loved Aubrey Plaza's witch outfit.
oh yeah.
She had like the big heeled boots and
Oh yeah. She was serving
these kind of cool
hood.
joggers that like turned into like a one-piece hood thing.
Yeah.
It was really rad looking.
I'm just like super pumped to see what all this turns
I
into.
don't have my head around the tone of the show really, because the first episode again had a tone that was a parody of something
Mm-hmm.
to exist in the TV show. The second one is kind of the character getting her bearings in the real world and then escaping to this like witch's road.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming most of the series is going to take place along the witch's road.
Yep.
And is that going to be like Beetlejuice kooky? Is it going to be
I expect
really
a lot
dark and scary? Is it going to be
I expect a
somewhere
lot
in the
of
middle?
camp.
Yeah, I think I'd like it better if it was more campy. I didn't get like a ton of camp from the first 2 episodes of this.
I detected some camp in the
Yeah.
second episode.
Uh-huh.
I imagine it's gonna be a lot like Jason X. You know, like a familiar character with some suspense, but kind of just like
Yeah.
just a goofy fun time.
Yeah, right.
And I love that most of all.
Mm-hmm.
The character design's a little cryptic and kooky,
Yeah.
which makes me believe that there will be some scenes that are just like, holy shit, like that's
Yeah.
wild. They've already done some stuff in this show that I was not expecting from a Disney Plus show or Marvel show
Sure.
with language
Yeah.
and
That's true.
nudity.
Yes.
So I don't know where the bar is for
Yeah.
this show because it's already jumped over everything that I thought it was going to do.
This was a great thing about Agatha's delusion from the first episode, was that Aubrey Plaza's character is the only one who's cursing and kind of talks in a way that feels much more natural than everybody else.
Right.
Because she's the one who realizes it's a delusion.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of like playing parts.
Yeah. And she's refusing to play
And
into it.
she's not, yeah. She's only playing into it when she chooses. So she's got like a much more natural air about her. That's another thing where like, if you don't fully understand what's going on, you're kind of like, is the acting in this bad?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, no, it's trying to do a parody of a show that's like acted a very specific way.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
Folks, it's definitely worth your time.
Yeah, I'm excited for the rest of it. And I hope it does, stay kooky or get kookier.
I love, and this is like just a really small detail, when they're walking the witch's road, they all took their shoes off.
Yeah, I don't remember that as like a thing that they were supposed to do, but it's a fun detail.
I think it's because they needed to like ground themselves.
Leave something behind.
That's like
yeah.
a witchy thing. Like you want to be close to the earth and the energy of the earth.
Yeah.
And that was just like, I don't know why that resonated with me, that they're just like, all right, shoes off.
Yeah.
We're on the witch's road.
Uh-huh.
It's like, God damn, that's such a cool detail.
Yeah.
And that was the Agatha talk.
Agatha.
No more Agatha
Along.
for the rest of the episode.
Yep.
If you even hint about talking about Agatha, I'll shut you down.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about comics.
Comic books. First issues, specifically.
I read Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Nation. Got 2 stories in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Ambush at Area 51, written by Tom Waltz, art by Vincenzo Federici. And then Casey Jones, Agent of the Foot Clan, written by Eric Burnham, art by Mateus Santoluco.
Okay.
This is a continuation of the previous series, not from the new Jason Aaron stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's just basically picking up right where issue 150 left off.
Okay.
Raphael is in the first story about raiding Area 51. He's working as a bouncer in a bar. And I should say, in the new, or in the TMNT series, muties and humans coexist.
Yeah.
It's been,
The
veil's been lifted.
Yeah, you're not going to walk down the street and be like, my God, a turtle.
Yeah. Oh my God, that turtle just bought a cappuccino. No, they're living amongst us as normal people. And so...
Middle-aged mutant teen.
Worried about Raphael.
Yeah. Well, where's that spinoff?
Nobody wants to read that because it'd be super depressing. The team... the backstory is the team is like kind of like splintered. So Roth's just like doing his own thing. Fuck you. It wasn't even intentional. And on his way back to the sewer, like Shellhead, who is the mechanical version of a Ninja Turtle that Donatello built.
Okay, yeah, I remember that from the action figures.
Tries to stop him.
Yep.
And needs his help raiding Area 51 for potential muties that are there.
Oh, okay. Being held captive and studied, maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
And of course, Ralph's friend and pet, little dragon thing, Pepperoni, is there. That's all you get.
Okay.
It's fun.
And
Art's great.
Does it end on a cliffhanger?
It does.
Okay.
So
there will be subsequent Mutant Nation books.
I think Mutant Nation will be a continued anthology series.
Okay. And some of them may have threads that pick up through subsequent issues,
Mhm.
and some of them might be like little one-off stories that
I believe
don't
so.
continue.
Right
Okay.
now, we have 2 stories that look to be continuing on further.
Okay.
Because with Casey Jones, Foot Clan stuff, it's a lot of the same thing. April, Casey Jones, their daughter,
Mhm.
all that family stuff going on. He has, I think, he's the leader of the Foot Clan, but the Foot Clan's like now good
Okay.
because Shredder is gone.
All right.
And they needed a leader because they're like just lemmings. So
Somebody lead
they
us.
need. Yeah, seriously. I mean,
And Casey Jones is in charge now?
yeah.
All right.
So it looks like,
Interesting.
man.
I did not know that.
I did not know that. It was good. I mean, honestly, I haven't read all of the 150 previous issues of the TMNT stuff. I've read a bunch.
Okay.
I didn't feel lost or confused by any of it. If you're a continued turtle head, this should be great for you because it's just a continuing
Yep.
on the storyline that you've all grown to love.
These are confusing things for me.
I know, that's why you don't read them.
Yeah. As a comic book fan, it's tough to have like a new. There's so many Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle issue 1s recently, and understanding what is a connection through another thing, what's a mini series, and what's the new Jason Aaron stuff that you actually want to buy.
Yeah.
Just from like a pre-ordering or pull list perspective, like I screwed it up. I didn't pull the right.
I'm sorry.
I didn't pull the right things. I pulled some like weird alpha issue that like wasn't like real kickoff of the thing.
Yeah, IDW kind of made it a little confusing.
Yeah.
For the initial jump off. Oh well, you live and you learn.
Yeah.
Jason Aaron is doing a phenomenal job with the new launch, so they're fine. They're gonna be all right. Turtle heads they'll buy anything with Ninja Turtles in it, so they're not worried.
I think since I missed the jump on, I'm just gonna take a waiver on this one.
Take a pass. Take a hard pass.
And maybe at some point I'll find a deal on a collected edition or something and give it a spin. But I've never been a huge Turtle head, but I'm a huge Jason Aaron fan. So
I will say
whatever he does, I like normally.
If you want, I previously bought a Humble Bundle.
Okay.
With all the previous volumes of the TMNT stuff.
I don't want that. I'm only interested in
Heard, Chef.
Jason Aaron.
Okay,
yeah.
got it. I made a mistake. I bought Graveyard Club thinking it was a one issue. And it's like an OGN. It was huge.
Oh, okay.
So I read some of it.
Yeah.
It's by RL Stine. For all you 90s kids out there, that should make your ears perk up.
How much did you spend on it?
Don't worry about it. It was like under $15.
Was it? Okay.
I thought it was like a weird thing. So
yeah.
Anyway, and it's illustrated by Carola Borelli.
Okay.
And it's an RL Stine book. All right. It's young teens obsessed with spooky stuff and all the creepy things. They hang out in a graveyard all the time. All right.
Hey.
Like no one does that for real. And it's just like
it's disrespectful. Graveyards aren't cool to hang out in.
It's also fucking dumb. There's no lights in a graveyard. There's also nothing to do in a graveyard besides play your iPad. What are you, like, in the fucking Cure?
Why are you guys playing Fruit Ninja and getting high in graveyards? Go home.
There is nothing cool to do in a graveyard. I'd say this as a former goth kid. It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
There's go home. Surf the internet.
Hang out in front of the borders.
Ghosts are...
You could at least go in, read a couple Far Sides, and then come out and discuss.
Ghosts are truly everywhere. They're not exclusively in cemeteries.
Did you see that Lisa Frankenstein movie?
No. Oh, I heard about it though.
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon, maybe.
Okay.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I need to check it out.
I mean, it's what you think. It's like over the top, like corny,
Perfect.
but fun.
Perfect.
Fun Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
She falls in love with like a bust on a headstone that is like, oh, you poor Victorian teenager who
That's
died
incredible.
a long time ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, this book was great. It's geared towards YA crowd. So
that's great. I love that he's still writing YA stuff and staying true to his thing.
he knows his crowd.
Yeah.
It's all good. It was illustrated beautifully. But it's an OG hit, not a first issue. So whoopsie daisy on Greg.
I'm glad it's not one of those things where it's like people would go to like a Bob Saget stand up and be like, this isn't the guy from the family sitcom.
Tell a joke about Joey.
Yeah. You're not picking up an RL Stine book now and being like, and then someone's intestines fell out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still just like, he turned into a wolf boy.
Yeah.
And there were chains clanking.
Yep.
That's kind of the vibe of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. There's your stand-in aggressor, adult aggressor, which is a pudgy policeman.
Yeah.
Just won't let teens be teens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, grr.
This is teen angst Twilight Zone.
Yeah. It's good. And if you're a young kid, it's fucking awesome.
Sure.
So, that's it. And we read a book together.
Tell me which one. I don't know yet.
The Moon is Following Us.
The Moon is Following Us. Let me get my factoids about this out.
While you're doing that, I'll give a quick little spoiler. Fuck this book. I know exactly what this book's gonna do to me. It's going to fucking destroy me.
Oh, okay. In a good way.
In a way that Daniel Warren Johnson always does to us.
This is a complimentary fuck you.
This is a complimentary, respectfully fuck you.
For giving me feelings that I didn't ask for.
No, the feelings are always there, but they're buried deep.
Yeah.
Deep.
Right.
And Daniel Warren Johnson has that emotional shovel, just digging them right up.
So, yeah, Daniel Warren Johnson wrote this book. Riley Rossmo is the artist on it.
Oh, and Daniel Warren Johnson's also the artist on this.
Oh, is that right?
The back half of this book.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Oh, when you get into... Okay, yes. All right. Really cool character design. That was just the first thing I wanted to say.
Oh, incredible.
About this.
Incredible.
You get dropped into a world...
that makes zero sense. It's kind of like a little arduous from the jump because it really feels like you're thrown in halfway through a conversation and you're kind of like, am I supposed to be gathering something that I'm missing? It felt too convoluted on purpose.
Yes, right. You find out as you get to the crux of the thing that this is all intentional and all will be made
There's a purpose, yeah.
But there's a really interesting way to kind of like lead you astray. The twist it pays off with, I feel like, let's just get to it.
Yeah, there's always a twist. He's the M. Night Shyamalan of comic books, folks.
Halfway through the comic, we've got these people in like a kind of fantasy, kind of traditional fantasy world that's got like monsters, and these are people with swords and shit and magic.
Frogs.
And they're trying to like get some artifact that's going to help them on this quest to save their daughter. At the very end of the book, one of them gets shot with an arrow, and they're like, we have to head back, blah, blah, blah. They walk through a portal, and then it shows them in bed as normal-ass people wearing kind of like these VR headset plug-in things.
Yeah. Kind of like Minority Report style headset.
You ultimately find out that their daughter has kind of been in a sleep coma kind of thing for 6 months. And they've tried everything. Now they're invading her dreamscape to trying to find a way to wake her up from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the fantasy characters that you're introduced to, it becomes more obvious that there's like multiple dream realms and dream worlds.
Yeah.
And these kind of like merchants can travel between dreams
Mm-hmm.
and make their way into these different strongholds within the dreamscapes and deal their wares and magic artifacts that can help people take care of, like, you know, I guess can force real life, like, or can force dream manifestations of things that the dreamer would not have manifested.
Right.
So in the middle of our book, we have this cube that they're able to turn into a helicopter.
Or whatever you need.
Or
at the
whatever
time.
you need when their daughter doesn't necessarily have like a manifestation of a helicopter in her brain.
Right.
But since it's all dream world, they're like, I can't fly anything, and they're like, remember, it's like there's no rules here.
Yeah.
Like as long as you like feel like you can do it, then you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so this guy flies a helicopter. So some like really interesting concepts
Mm-hmm.
to play with there. And then, like you said, why Greg is fake angry at this comic is because Daniel Warren Johnson's really good at tugging at your heartstrings and doing stuff with family. You're a guy with kids,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm sure this book's gonna get you in your feels at some point. Whether it has a happy or sad ending, you know, Daniel Warren Johnson's not afraid of
Of me.
of a sad ending.
The emotional stray bullet I'm about to catch, frankly, unwarranted. Even though I can see it just coming straight at me. Yeah, I mean, by now we're all very well versed in what Daniel Warren Johnson can do, what he's capable of, whether or not he should be stopped in his, frankly, relentless pursuit in making everyone cry all the time. I say that with actual complete respect. He is a master at this craft, and whether it be murder falcons who have cancer, robots in disguise, or power bombing yourself through hell, this dude has earned a spot on everyone's Mount Rushmore of creators. Like, bar none, this dude's a hit maker. I cannot think of a book that isn't a 10 out of 10 from him.
Yeah.
Including Big 2 stuff. I mean, we have Wonder Woman Dead Earth. We have his Beta Ray Bill stuff. Like, he is committed to not only bombastic and stylized art, but the involvement to his story and the emotional and character development that he puts into it is, noteworthy and should be taught in a lot of writing classes.
Yeah, he's had a lot of bangers the last few years with the success of Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's Daniel Warren Johnson's year, and he's become somebody with like mega fans that like will just buy his stuff no matter what.
Right. I mean, I've been a huge fan of his for a very long time. Like, Murder Falcon, Do a Power Bomb.
I think the Wonder Woman Dead Earth was the first thing that I read that he did.
That he's slowly been building momentum, and like you said, there are dedicated fans, kind of comparable to like Scotty Young fans who just like,
yeah,
if it's DWJ, I'm fucking buying it.
Yeah.
Like, including variant covers for books that he's not even involved in. Like, there is a dedicated subsect of the comic book community who will walk through the gates of hell to cry at a Daniel Warren Johnson book. And frankly, I count myself among them ranks.
He was really rad. I met him once at a con, and I went up and I was like, "Oh, I'm such a fan." I was like,
and he spit on you. It was so nice.
Get the fuck out of here.
He's like, "Haktua, good to meet you."
And I said, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?"
You're dressed like Oliver Twist.
No, but I picked out a Star Trek zine.
Oh yeah,
that he'd written, and I was like, "How much for it?" And he was like, "No, you can have it." And I was like, what? No. Why? And he was just like,
No, shut up.
yeah. And he was just like, no, just take it. And then he signed it and drew a Klingon in it and was refusing payment. And I left, well, I think I had $10 in cash on me, and I just dropped it on his table. And I was like, you take this.
Yeah. I don't care who picks that up, but I'm
Yeah.
leaving it here, Daniel.
Yeah.
He does a lot of great small zines.
Yeah.
He did Thank You Liger, which is like a Japanese wrestler zine.
Okay.
He did a Star Wars zine.
Yeah.
That Star Trek one.
Uh-huh.
Like, he just loves drawing. This dude's
Yep. Loves to create.
like
You
insane.
can tell.
He's recently been posting drawings he's been doing of Pokemon.
Oh,
that
really?
People are just losing their minds over because they're
Yeah.
just like, oh my god, is he gonna do like a Pokemon comic?
Yeah.
And to his credit, I don't think he is, but to his credit, he knows how to build steam on social media, and it's drawing cool pictures of Pokemon. That's how you do it.
Well, hell yeah.
I love this book.
Yeah.
I know I was joking around earlier, but this book, as soon as you figure out the bit,
Yeah.
you go, oh, I fucking get it. And then you're like,
Yep.
oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. And like, the sky's the limit for what can be done here
Yeah.
as far as illustrating concepts and characters. And
Mm-hmm.
to have him draw the real world and Riley Rossmo draw the dream world
Yeah.
is, God, brilliant.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yep. All right. Awesome. Endorsed. The next book that I read is on a little publisher called Marvel Comics.
Never heard of him.
And when I have mine, I make it Marvel.
Make it Marvel. House of Ideas.
Oh, first, The Moon is Following Us is one of 10. I didn't mention that.
1 of 10. Hell yeah.
Kind of a longer series for
Yeah.
an indie book.
Yeah.
Dazzler is 1 of 4, so a shorty. This is written by Jason Liu, who I didn't realize wrote. I think I know him as an illustrator, unless I'm confusing him with like a different Jason Liu.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with that name at all?
No.
I think he did that Afterlift book with Chip Zdarsky.
Oh,
I
hell
want to
yeah.
say he illustrated that.
That's awesome.
And then Rafael Luero is doing the illustrations on this book. So, Dazzler,
The Taylor Swift character.
the Taylor Swift character, is really a comp for. You can tell they took that whole conversation surrounding Dazzler and really leaned into that comics cultural conversation.
Sure.
And we'll get into that. But for anyone who doesn't know, Dazzler is a mutant. This is part of the new X-Men relaunch. This character is a part-time superhero, has been on and off of the
Full-time superstar.
X-Men, and yeah, is kind of like getting back to like recording an album, going on tour, all that stuff. In this book, she has recorded an album, released it, and is now going on a world tour, focusing more on being like a pop star than superhero stuff. Her power is manifesting sound into light.
Dazzling.
She dazzles.
Yeah.
Um,
Her twin sister, Razzle,
let's not even get into Razzle's history.
makes bad movies.
Oh boy. Okay, character's name is Allison Blair.
Oh, that's her
And-
real name?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. This is a mindfuck. Did not know her real name.
Oh,
till
is that right?
Just now.
In any case, a lot of the like crew with her
Mhm.
are X-Men, and they've kind of been past the Krakoan Orcus era, and I feel like want to have some
Fun.
more fun, right? So Strong Guy and Multiple Man are kind of roadies.
Hell yeah.
And so you've got Strong Guy who can like lift the massive pieces of the stage and move stuff around, and then Multiple Man, obviously, one guy on the tour bus can be 50
do it, yeah.
guys setting up shop inside the venue.
Real quick, to see the resurgence of interest into Strong Guy again.
Yeah,
I'd
it's
love to
really
see it.
interesting.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, Guido, is that his real name? I think it is.
I don't know.
I think his name's Guido.
I'm learning a lot of names today.
Wind Dancer is running PR. Domino is head of security.
Fun.
Shark Girl is part of the band. Shark Girl is a drummer.
Cool.
So this book starts with Dazzler being snuck into the concert in a little like equipment box, like a utility
Mm-hmm.
box, which very famously was the way Taylor Swift got into the Era Tour concerts. That they would put her kind of like in equipment cargo, roll her in, and then once they were inside, she would get out.
Really?
That was the shtick for a while until somebody
Figured it out.
got it on camera, and then they might have changed the way she got in and out after that.
Because they were just worried
Because
she
her
would
fans
be
are so
mobbed.
rabid, and they would send in a couple like black SUVs that would just be like mobbed by people trying to get a glimpse at Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the boring load in
Mm-hmm.
around the corner is where she would actually come in and just like get in a case.
Well, as Kansas City Chiefs fans,
Mm-hmm.
we know what can happen when Taylor Swift just kind of shows up
Yeah.
at a football game unannounced, and people just kind of leave the stands and go wait for her outside the door.
Everyone is starting to get their Taylor
What a
Swift
terrifying existence.
run-ins. I know, isn't that sad?
I would hate it.
I've seen Taylor Swift in person once. She came.
Yeah, when you guys dated.
I worked at an Urban Outfitters
Mm-hmm.
on the Country Club Plaza,
Yeah,
kind of like ritzy shopping district in Kansas City. And she had some friends in Lawrence,
Mm-hmm.
and when she visited, they would come up to the plaza and shop. At the time, there wasn't a ton of shopping in Lawrence.
Still isn't.
No, Lawrence is. When was the last time you've been?
Oh,
It's different.
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah.
Is there more than one bar and a pizza shop?
Oh my God, there's like
No shade. No
there's
shade
like
to
60
Lawrence.
bars and like a bunch of nice, cute little restaurants and things. A ton. It's grown so much in the
Okay.
past like 15
Well, take
years.
me sometime. Take me
Of
to
course,
Lawrence.
I'm sorry, Greg. But yeah, she used to come to the plaza with her buddies. And
Okay.
I was working one of the days she
So
came in.
was it as crazy as
No, this was when she was like a little country teeny bopper kind of.
Okay.
So it wasn't that big of a deal.
Like American Idol.
We were all like, "Oh yeah,
Taylor
Taylor Swift," and she would be like, "Oh, you guys have been so nice. Thank you so much. This place is great."
Yeah. Didn't get an autograph.
No, didn't get an autograph. Didn't take a picture. She wasn't
Fucking Rube.
what she wasn't what she is now.
Sure. Yeah. I get. Tell you what. Here's how I
And
skirt that. I get
if I
everyone's
saw her-
autograph no matter what.
If I saw her in public, I would do the same thing. I've never gone up to somebody I've seen out and about
Mm-hmm.
and ask for an autograph or ask for a picture or anything like that. I'll
Yeah.
do that if they're purposefully somewhere to do something like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just like, oh, I see that's that person, and I'll be like,
Hey.
hey, wife, there's that person over there.
I have a book. It has 11,000 signatures in it from everyone I've met in my life, in case they get famous.
No, you don't.
Funny bit. Next.
Yeah, real funny bit.
Your reaction. No, you don't. You don't, you
Uh,
fucking liar.
The kind of crux of this is her PR team and some of the people around her are trying to get her to pander a bit or like pat down her mutantdom so she can have a little more mass appeal to both humans and mutants. And Shark Girl wears like an image inducer thing, which is like a past X-Men Marvel thing where like you just look like a different person through hologram stuff. So while she's drumming on stage, she just looks like a
Generic person.
But like every Dazzler concert ever, she gets attacked while she's on stage by some villain. They try to make it seem like it's part of the show. This has happened in like a million different Dazzler comics, so it's like we've seen this before.
Ever since Chris Rock slapped or got slapped by Will Smith,
anyone thinks
no
they
one's
can just
safe.
come up
No
on
one's
stage.
safe on stage.
So a stray shot from a laser blaster or something knocks off Shark Girl's image inducer, and all of a sudden there's a shark on stage, and people are like, oh, I'm scared because of mutant stuff. And Dazzler does like a big like, I'm out and I'm proud, I'm a mutant, and then sings a song about being a mutant out and proud. And each book of this four issue series is going to have like full song lyrics. I don't know if they recorded the songs anywhere that you can like listen to them, but they've got full lyrics of one or two of her songs, and so I'm sure fans will like
We should sing one for the Patreon.
record the songs and do
record
versions
the
of
first
them.
issue club version of that for the Patreon. Imagine
one of the songs is about dating Angel, which was fun, and another Taylor Swift thing about like a lot of songs about the exes and things like that. And she made a big deal about being like, well, this next one actually isn't about an ex. So they're making a lot, I think,
huge comparisons here.
Taylor Swift comparisons here, and another Taylor Swift narrative is kind of the like, is she gonna speak out on this or that? Like, yeah, Taylor Swift has like amazing broad appeal. Like, is she gonna like, when she endorsed Kamala Harris, it was like a massive news story, and
it was wild.
Some people were, pissed, and she's getting gnarly comments, and other people are like, fucking finally, yeah.
Donald Trump's just like, honestly, Folklore wasn't even that good of an album.
But she's one of those people now that's so famous, it's like everybody's waiting on bated breath to hear like, what's her stance on trans people? What's her stance on like, everything that we've got wrong in our culture? What side of the aisle does Taylor Swift land on? So deals with that. It's an interesting one. I think she's going to be, since it's like a world tour, it's going to be like a globe-trotting thing, and we'll probably get like Villain of the Week on stage at the concert while she's like in London, or she's in Japan or Australia or wherever it is.
Imagine being that dedicated to your craft where
yeah, I'm going to be attacked on stage.
I'm going to be attacked on stage.
I'm going to pretend like it's part of the show.
God damn, I got to sing.
Yeah.
I got to go dazzle. I'm so sorry. I have to dazzle.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
4 issues?
4 issues. Low commitment.
Seems too low.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe, should have been maybe 6.
You would think, if the Taylor Swift Dazzler thing had happened in the Deadpool.
Oh, this would be a 50 issue.
Yeah. This would have been like a ongoing comic, I think.
They would have tried to do co-written by Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Do you think the people at the publisher really like know for a fact that like this, that, and the other is going to happen in the movies? Or are they so divorced from that they're just like, hey, we're going to kind of plan a Dazzler thing, and depending on how the movie shakes out, like maybe we'll make it a longer thing, maybe we won't.
We talked about it a couple years ago when Kevin Feige took over. He's actually now really involved with the Marvel comic book stuff.
Okay.
And so, not to say that he like has a heavy hand in what should be done, but like there is a lot of synergy in that area.
Yeah.
Where he is like, I would say, pretty up to date on what's going to be happening in the comics, and can probably fill, like CB Cebulski and other editors in of just like, hey, here's what the Marvel MCU stuff's going to be doing.
Yeah.
Any way we can kind of coexist and play a little nice here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I imagine, more X-Men books are going to be becoming popular because MCU stuff's going to be leaning into that. I mean, who knows if we'll see a Agatha comic book now, depending on how well the TV show does.
Oh yeah, you know what? I did see a David Nakayama cover.
Oh really?
For like some Scarlet Witch thing that had Agatha on it,
Okay.
and she was doing a big wink like from the show.
How? Okay, cool, neat.
Yeah. So Dazzler, fun character. I kind of love the whole like pop star mutant thing. It's just kind of interesting and different. I always liked Leela Cheney, who was the New Mutants pop star alien gal who was a mutant that Cannonball was dating.
Yeah.
All right. I think we did it. We talked about 4 first issues.
Yeah, really beefed it for you.
Depending on your likes and dislikes.
Are we over an hour?
Maybe you'll pick one of them. It looks like it.
Wow.
I think we talked about Agatha.
We talked about Agatha for a while.
For a hot minute there.
That's what happens when you get us gabbing with the Space Camper. We'll just go on for...
We lose
who knows how long.
sense of time.
It'll be mentioned at the end, but if you want more, patreon.com/first issue club. join our Discord, join all the social medias. We don't have anything really much to push. We're not con season's
Nothing's
over
coming
for
up.
us.
Yep.
We're
Probably taking a breather on events and things until after the holidays.
Yep.
Where we might end up going to Seattle for Emerald City Comic-Con.
I think the goal is to go to Emerald City this year.
And so we'll see if we do that. And we don't have like a panel or anything like we did it. You guys
C2E2 with
joined a panel at C2E2 with
Botter and Chris and
Yep.
Aaron from the Oblivion Bar Pod and Shortbox Podcast.
So we probably won't do anything unless it absolutely falls in our laps.
unless Chip Zdarsky just wants to sit down with us at a panel.
Please moderate
or
a
Daniel Warren
conversation for
Johnson
me.
talks about how he makes people cry so easily. I don't really see us doing a panel up at Emerald. I would love to see a couple of friends up there that we've made through the show up in Seattle. If we do that, we probably won't go to C2E2.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I think I'd probably skip C2E2 unless Marvel was like, remember one of the first times we went, Marvel had like this massive booth and did a bunch of exclusives.
It was amazing.
Same with DC, like every publisher had like a massive showing, and they were treating it way more like they treat New York City Comic-Con, and it hasn't been like that for the past like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And if it were to return to that, and I'm like, it's like a 2-hour flight, like.
It really hinges on if we get free press passes.
I might splurge and go. Either way, it's one of those things where you might as well get the press passes if we can go or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally. We'll keep you updated. We'll keep you abreast.
Yeah.
On all first issue club going-ons. Including Baby Watch 2024.
Yes. Miss you, Vargas.
Vargas, Kara, good luck.
Yep.
Can't wait to meet Ronan. We love you very, very much.
Aw.
All right, that's the episode. Get out of here. Bye.